Hi, I'm Chris,
And I'm Sheree.
and this is the Mobile Internet Resource Center.
This video is our recap of all the developments in mobile internet that happened in 2017.
Well, not quite all the developments because a lot happens. This is just the tiny recap version of the big in-depth guide we have online.
Which you can find at mobileinternetinfo.com/2017. Definitely bring that up. There is a ton more information there.
And then, of course, we also have a look towards some of the things we're looking forward to in 2018. So, hope you'll sit back and enjoy our recap and look forward.
So here it is for cellular, Wi-Fi, and satellite. Of course, the biggest news in cellular internet is the return of unlimited data, or as we've come to call it, unlimited data. Comes with a lot of limits, and that's what we have spent a lot of our time this year trying to educate our mobile community on just what these limits mean. Now, all of the carriers introduce unlimited data plans, and they are all designed to be more like smartphone unlimited data plans that provide a little bit of mobile hotspot use. And it's that mobile hotspot use that is so critical for us mobile folks that are really trying to look for a home internet replacement on the road. We want unlimited data that we can actually use for our laptops and networking needs, homeschooling, working online, and entertainment. And a lot of these plans just aren't designed for that. They introduce restrictions on mobile hotspot use, slowing you down after a very small amount of usage each month, and they have things like network management, which means that when you're on a congested tower, you might be slowed down. It's kind of like being slowed down at rush hour on a highway. A lot of these restrictions mean something to us mobile travelers, and some of them actually aren't as bad as they seem. Now, all four carriers offer plans of unlimited data, and you do have to do some research on what the carrier's definition is of unlimited and how that meshes with your needs. We have a full guide at mobileinternetinfo.com/unlimited where you can go get more information on all of the plans and all these restrictions. We keep that constantly updated as the carriers continue to compete with each other on what the options are. Now, we have picked kind of the top word of the year, and that word is mobily. If you were one of the lucky few who got in on this deal between February and September, then you have a sweet unlimited data plan for $20 a month on the mobily diagnostic car device. This plan, as far as we know, is no longer available. We have not had any reports of successful activations in the last few weeks, and our AT&T contacts say it has been officially removed from the AT&T internal store, so it cannot be provisioned anymore. So we do consider it retired now, but you are, for now, grandfathered in if you were lucky enough to get it. At $20 a month, though, an unlimited data plan was a sweet, sweet deal, and kind of makes a lot of the remaining unlimited options expensive in comparison. But you do have to keep in mind, this time last year, hardly any of these options existed at any price. So that we have unlimited options now to explore is a pretty huge improvement in 2017. And we hope that going into 2018, the options just keep getting better.
So now, looking forward into the year ahead in cellular, there's a lot to look forward to. One of the big stories of the past year was the end of the 600 megahertz auction, a new whole band of cellular spectrum that is being opened up as a whole bunch of UHF TV channels are shut down. And this auction was in the process for 5 years and finally closed this past summer, and T-Mobile was the big winner and won nationwide coverage with 600 megahertz and a huge expansion of their markets. The catch is, now T-Mobile has to wait for all these TV channels to shut down and relocate, and devices to come to the market that support this new spectrum, which is now being called LTE Band 71. As the end of 2017 rolls around, there are only 2 smartphones on the market that support this LTE Band 71, but as 2018 comes along, hopefully there will be a lot more. And if you are a T-Mobile customer, this is going to be something you're really going to want to look out for. Do some research into this because it's going to make a huge difference for the future of T-Mobile coverage, theoretically giving them the nationwide spectrum to actually finally rival Verizon and AT&T out in rural areas. Other major news in the major things to look forward to in the cellular world. Of course, everybody's talking about, well, this is the year 5G is going to come along. There's a lot of news stories about 5G cellular, 5G cellular. Well, this is the year that 5G is going to be standardized and the first trials will start to happen. But consumer 5G is not going to happen in 2018 for mobile users, maybe the end of 2019 or 2020. What is happening, though, and is continuing to happen, is gigabit LTE. This is the culmination of 4G cellular technologies, and all the carriers are rolling out more and more of these technologies to really push towards, to bridge towards 5G. So much so that AT&T is actually calling their 4G LTE advanced deployments 5G evolution. Ignore that. That's a marketing term. It is not real 5G. Other big news that is happening in the Pax Cellular world is the end of network neutrality. So the FCC years ago put down in official rulings rules enforcing the concept of network neutrality, that online carriers have to treat all websites, all services as equal. Now the new FCC and the new administration has undone those rules, and it's, there's lawsuits preventing the changes from happening. It's still be a long transition before the undoing of the rules becomes fully official, but things are changing. And well, what does this mean? And what does this mean for mobile users? And there's a lot of real impacts. There's a lot of overhyped impacts, both positive and negative. So do your research, understand the issues, understand the impacts. We've got a full guide to the implications of network neutrality changes for mobile users on our site, so check it out. And don't get too caught up in all the big crazy changes and fears that people are passing around. And then, well, one thing that is kind of a side effect of the FCC changing its stance is there's likely to be a lot more mergers and acquisitions and things. If the carriers can treat certain content as favorable, maybe they want to treat their own content as favorable and become media companies and go back to the days of bundled services. And we are seeing this with AT&T bundling DirecTV and becoming one with DirecTV. Verizon has been making moves about getting into that sort of business as well. T-Mobile has announced they're buying Layer 3, a video services company, and they're going to start uncarrying the TV world the same way they shook up the cellular world. And Sprint has actually even partnered with Hulu and giving away free Hulu service. And we'll probably see a lot more of these cozying up of media companies and cellular companies. And we'll probably see the cable companies starting to get into the mix as well. Comcast is launching their own cellular services. Dish Network is making moves towards having the 5G service. And a lot of stuff like this is happening. Stuff to keep your eye on. That's the future.
Now, the other way that RVers and cruisers tend to get online is Wi-Fi, and that might be Wi-Fi provided by a campground or marina, or free public Wi-Fi hotspots across the land as you travel. Now, Wi-Fi we've seen less and less demand for. Consumers have gotten used to cellular now being a viable option, and that a lot of times public Wi-Fi sources are less than usable. Ironically, at the same time that consumers are shifting to cellular data, we're seeing a lot of campgrounds and marinas investing in infrastructure to support a more usable Wi-Fi network. So the demand is definitely still there, and there's a lot of products out there that help you get better Wi-Fi signal. And the trend that we're seeing is more and more products that are combining cellular service and Wi-Fi service into one unit. And we're seeing that both in roof-mounted equipment that you might put on your RV's roof, to just boxes with an embedded cellular modem, as well as Wi-Fi receiving capabilities. Now, we've had these embedded cellular modems for a while now. Pepwave, Cradlepoint, MoFi are some of the popular options that are out there. And what we've seen in a new market entering the last year is companies like WineGuard and Wi-Fi Ranger are now also entering that space. Both introduced options in this last year. WineGuard had their Connect T, and they have a new version coming out at the beginning of 2018. And Wi-Fi Ranger is flirting with the idea and came out with a beta release. We hope to see some new options on that. Now, we have the brand new Cradlepoint IBR 900 and Max BR1. These are embedded cellular modems that also have the Wi-Fi as WAN solution to it. And these are products that have been out in other form factors in the past that we've tested, and we will be taking these new iterations out on the road in early 2018 and having some in-depth reviews for our members on these higher end solutions. We continue to see a lot of expansion in this market.
Now, the next way that mobile users dream of getting online is via satellite internet. But in the past, satellite has often not lived up to the promise and potential. Things have started to change a bit, though, in 2017 with the launch of HughesNet Generation 5. This is Hughes' fifth generation satellite service. It came online in April, and it actually offers speeds of 25 megabits down and 3 megabits per second up all across the country. Of course, it does require a big, awkward dish to cart around, manually aim, and all of that. And one big major catch: HughesNet does not officially support mobile users, and that means that if you take the satellite service out of your designated spot, it will not connect. Fortunately, there are ways to actually provision HughesNet service that will support mobility, and we've got a lot of details on where you can go to get this in our guide at our mobileinternetinfo.com/satellite. So check that out if you're interested. There's a kind of a whole new world of satellite for our mobile users as of 2017. Now, looking forward into 2018, there's the Iridium Next constellation coming online, a whole new generation of Iridium service. Viasat 2, which will be replacing what is known as Exceed in the past, is coming into orbit. And then further down the line, there are new services from OneWeb and SpaceX that are almost science fiction in their scope and potential power. But again, those are more than a year away. Just pay attention to the exciting news. 2018 should be an interesting year for satellite.
And of course, with the Mobile Internet Resource Center, we're always exploring new ways to expand our content and make it easier for you to stay on top of this always changing industry. We have made this our full-time job to stay on top of it, and we are now entering our 4th year of hosting the Resource Center. One of the biggest changes that we've started to implement in 2017 is subtly dropping the RV out of our website and just becoming simply the Mobile Internet Resource Center as we expand our content to include marine and other types of travel. We ourselves at Technomadia, that's what Chris and I blog under, we are starting to integrate in cruising into our RVing lifestyle, so we're splitting our time on both RVs and boats, and our content will start to reflect that as well. You shouldn't see any change though, really, because in the end, it's all a lot the same equipment and same solutions. So not going to be a big change if you're used to our RVing content. We are approaching a rewrite of the Mobile Internet Handbook. We are taking a knife to the book, however, and taking it back to the roots of being a handbook where we started at. This was originally an 80-page book, and it somehow grew to 240 as we attempted to be comprehensive. Unfortunately, that means that's a lot of content to update every time that something changes, and it gets outdated a lot quicker. So we're going to be refocusing the book this year for the 2018 edition, which we're just going to simply call the 5th edition. And it's going to be focused more on the concepts and basics, kind of a primer on mobile internet. We're going to be moving a lot of the content online to be online guides that we can keep updated and expand and offer even more resources. So that process is in progress right now, and we are hoping to have the new Mobile Internet Handbook released by the end of January. That's an intention, and we hope to make it. The hurricane season and a lot of other complications this year have made it difficult to get this book out, but it is our focus in the coming weeks to get this out. Our members, of course, will get a free copy of that, and they already have access to a lot of our guides online in our in-depth reviews. The other new feature that we launched this year on the Mobile Internet Resource Center is our brand new university, and this is available to our premium members. It walks them through the basics of mobile internet, from assessing your needs for your connectivity to understanding what the options are, and guides for assembling their ideal mobile internet arsenal. We have found in our years of hosting this resource that generally no two solutions look alike. We all have such different needs for what we need to do online, what our travel styles are, and what our budgets are, and our technical competency. So there is no singular solution that we can say just go buy all of this. And it does require some research. So we're hoping to make that a lot easier with the university, and that is an included benefit now with our Mobile Internet Aficionados program.
Now, speaking of our Mobile Internet Aficionados, this whole site, this whole production would not be possible without them.
We don't take advertising. We don't sell stuff other than our membership and our book. This is all funded by our premium memberships. We like being community funded.
Right, so we do give away a lot of content for free. Everything here on this YouTube channel is available for free, but it is our members that you have to thank for bringing all of this stuff to you.
If mobile internet is important in your journey, we do ask that you consider to become a member and support this content so that we can create more of it. And you can find out more about our memberships at mobileinternetinfo.com/membership. And we appreciate our members. We give them a lot more benefits. We have private Q&A forums where we can go deeper in helping them, reviews, guides, webinars, the classroom, copies of the book. There's a lot of benefits that come along with, in addition to all of the free content that we create.
So we hope you consider joining, and thank you for listening to our recap of the year.
Have a happy and bandwidth-filled 2018.